Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. We're going to go ahead and get started. Don't want to disrupt all the good conversation. Appreciate that. That's a part of this. Want to make sure we get time to get everybody out here to get started with our days. All right, well, good morning again. Really appreciate everybody being here. It's another beautiful day in Virginia's Blue Ridge, and we're grateful for that. I'm Eric Sichal, President and CEO of the Roanoke Regional Chamber of Commerce, and it's our pleasure to welcome you to this year's State of the City Address. And just as an FYI, this is our largest crowd ever. We are beyond sold out. We've had to do some switching and changes with seats, so we appreciate everybody's flexibility, but just really appreciate your attendance and making the commitment and the investment to come out this morning to hear from the mayor and hear the updates on our great city and how it's impacting the region. It's incredible to say that we've had a sold-out event. Over 400 folks in the room, so please give yourself a round of applause. And that's what this is about. It's the community within the community, and hopefully that theme is reiterated throughout the morning. So today's program is crucial in supporting our chamber mission to improve the community and the economy by maximizing the business climate of the current generation for future generations. We are proud of our collaborative relationship between the business community and local government in our region as we all work towards this goal. I think we all know that regionalism needs to become and continue to be a common piece of our vocabulary moving forward. We recognize the importance of active engagement with our city leaders in order to support initiatives that foster economic development, workforce development, address the needs with our community and our citizens, and cultivate those strong regional partnerships with neighboring localities. Roanoke City thrives today in large part due to the strength and resilience of our regional business community. These businesses, from innovative startups to established enterprises, from biotech to retail and beyond, are the backbone of our local economy, driving growth, creating jobs, and fostering a spirit of collaboration that extends across the region. These impacts are felt in every corner of Roanoke, as they are not only providing essential goods and services, but also investing in our community's future through philanthropy, workforce development, and civic engagement. Our business community has been positioning Roanoke as a hub of economic vitality and innovation, and we are proud to recognize all these contributions towards the success of the region and the city moving forward. I know that Mayor Lea will have much to say on the city's recent achievements and goals for the future, but before we dive into the program, I'd like to thank our sponsors who have really made this morning's event possible. Our annual Public Policy Program of Work sponsors, Mountain Valley Pipeline, RGC Resources Roanoke Gas, and Lionberger Construction. Our presenting sponsor this morning, Appalachian Power. Our platinum sponsors, the Branch Group, Virginia 811, and Glow Fiber. And our gold sponsors, the City of Roanoke Redevelopment and Housing Authority, First Citizens Bank, Gentry Lock, Marcia McLennan, and the Poe & Cronk Real Estate Group. Mayor Lea will recognize members of Roanoke City Council and other elected officials shortly, but on behalf of the Chamber, I'd like to thank our members of City Council for their work and our service to our city and Virginia's Blue Ridge region. Also extend our appreciation to those in attendance from our local, state, and federally elected officials who have joined us today. Again, thank you to our Chamber Board of Directors. Most of them, I think, are here in front of me in our front row, but all of our Chamber Board of Directors really appreciate your continued support of our team and our initiatives and where we're headed as an organization. And now I'll introduce Mayor Lea. For 8 years, Mayor Sherman Lea has led Roanoke City with vision, dedication, and a deep commitment to our community. His tenure has been marked by steadfast leadership, guiding Roanoke through both challenges and triumphs with a focus on unity and progress. Under his direction, the city has seen significant achievements and accomplishments in economic development, public safety, and community engagement. Mayor Lee's unwavering service and passion for Roanoke have left an indelible mark on our city's history. He began his tenure with Roanoke City Council in 2004 and has been mayor again since 2016. And has used this platform to serve as an advocate for domestic violence victims and create opportunities for our youth and education systems. In his professional career, Mayor Lea spent 36 years with the Virginia Department of Corrections, assisting folks with criminal convictions as they re-entered the community upon release from their incarceration. Mayor Lea takes an active role volunteering with numerous civic organizations, serving on local and state boards, and organizing the Lee Youth Outdoor Basketball League. He's a proud member of the Virginia Union Athletic Hall of Fame. Personally, Mayor Lea is an Associate Minister of Garden of Prayer, number 7. He was married for 44 years to the late Clara S. Lea, proud father of Erica L. Rosser, son-in-law Jonathan, and Sherman P. Lea Jr., and loving grandfather to twin granddaughters Jalen and Maya, and grandsons Jonathan Jr. and Sherman P. Lee III. So with that, please welcome Mayor Lee for his address for the state of the city.
Thank you, Eric. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. And I'd like to begin today by stating that it's been an honor and a privilege to serve as your mayor. And I'm proud of the incredible progress that we've made together. And I do mean that, together. As I look back on my time in office, serving our fine city for 20 years, on city council, and as your mayor for the last 8 years, I'm filled with pride and gratitude for all we have achieved and for the dedication and hard work of our city employees, community partners, and of course, our residents of Roanoke. Let me first of all, I want to acknowledge my fellow members on City Council, and I'd ask for them to stand, and if you would hold your applause until I recognize each of them. Vice Mayor Joe Cobbs, Council Member Trish White Boyd, Council Member Peter Volson, Council Member Vivian Sanchez Jones, Council Member Stephanie Moon Reynolds, and Council Member Bear Fitzpatrick. Let me just say that your support, really, and collaboration have been invaluable in our continued pursuit of the best for all of our residents, business, and visitors. Thank you guys for staying in there. Thank you. I would also like to welcome a special guest, and this is a tough job because sometimes you want to recognize a guest and you may miss a guest. And I'll hear about it at some point down the line, but blame my head, not my heart on this. Our special guest from the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors. And I'm going to call on them, and I want them to stand. I want you to hold your applause for that. The Honorable Martha Hooker. All right. Phil North, the Honorable Phil North. All right. The Honorable David Radford. And Tammy Shepard. All right, well, and Roanoke County Administrator is a very important person, Richard K. Wood. Let's give them a hand. And now I want to recognize the best mayor in the Commonwealth of Virginia. He resides in Benton, Virginia. My good friend, Bradley Groves. All right. Guys, we want to give you applause right after I call your name. You did that before. And Councilwoman Laurie Mullins, see here? Along with Christine Broughton from Congressman Ben Klein's office. Christine. You know, I'm excited, and I've always felt good about the collaboration that exists across the region. And it's strong, and Roanoke is truly a valley of neighboring communities that work together to bring prosperity to us all. Thank you for the Regional Chamber of Commerce, Eric, the board members, and Eric is the director, and the board members, and for hosting this wonderful event. And I'd like to offer a big round of applause, not only to them, but to the Hotel Roanoke, and I see Bryant Wells over there, and everybody for what they did to help put this together. Let's give them a hand, please. And it is really highly important to me to also take this opportunity to thank our city and school division employees who work diligently, and I mean that, every day in and day out, to provide the essential services our community relies upon. And thank you, and a very special thank you, to our interim city manager, Dr. Lydia Patton. Dr. Patton, please stand. She came in and took the bull by the horns, and she's not afraid to make 5:30 and 6 o'clock phone calls. Thank you for your commitment and dedication and the work you've done as an interim director. Appreciate that. Along with the city's team of deputy city managers, I won't understand if they will. Deputy city managers, Sam Romans and Angelo Brown. And they direct the actions of this remarkable group of dedicated public servants that we have. And let me just ask city employees, if you work for the City of Roanoke, stand up. Just stand up, please. Thank you all for being here. I know you're anxious to get out and hear what the mayor has to say this morning. So I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Let me also show some recognition and ask you to just really appreciate our Roanoke City Public Schools Superintendent, Dr. Valita White. Stand up, Dr. White. As you all know, she was named Virginia Superintendent of the Year in 2023. And she's received national recognition as one of the 5 superintendents in the nation to watch due to her innovative approaches and commitment to student success. And that's why I keep an eye on her, you know. We call her, she's not around, we want to keep an eye on her, but thank you for your commitment and dedication, Dr. White. And let me recognize the Roanoke City School Board. There's some very special people, and I had for a little while, for about 5 years, I served on the Roanoke School Board. So I understand the tough decisions they have to make, some popular, some very unpopular, but they do a great job. And so I want to recognize their leader, the chairman, Dr. Eli Jameson. Ms. Franny Appel. Joyce Watkins. Natasha Saunders. Cotton. Liz Contona. And Deetra Tree, our newest school board member. And finally, I'd like to thank my children for being here today. My oldest, and she may not want me to say that, but my oldest, Erica Lee Rosser. Stand up, Erica. My son, Sherman Lea Jr., my grandson, Jonathan Rosser Jr., and he tackles quarterbacks on Friday nights. And my Well, let me mention my grandson, Sherman III, who's not here, but I want to mention him anyway. I'm real proud and happy for him. And the doctor in the house, Dr. Jonathan Russell, Sr. And also, as Eric mentioned, my late wife, Clara, who I know would be here with me today if she could, and I'm just so appreciative of the 44 years of marriage that we had. And I always want to recognize her because I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for her guidance and direction, and so I always want to recognize her. All right. Before we dive deeper into today's address, let's take a moment to watch a video that beautifully captures the essence of Roanoke, our vibrant community, and some of the remarkable projects we'll be highlighting today. So we'll watch the video. Let me recognize some important people, all of you important people, but let me recognize some folks that we work with a lot in the Board of Commissioners, the Roanoke Redevelopment and Housing Authority folks. Would you all stand to the here? Thank you for your service. Thank you, David, for your leadership and the commissioners for all that you do. It makes a difference, and it's a challenging time, Dan. We appreciate that. Also, I know we're in the political season, but protocol is protocol. And I want to recognize former Mayor David Bowers, who's here. David? And it's been my practice to invite mayors, former mayors, to all of these events. And some show up and others don't, but I very much appreciate all that they've done prior to my taking charge. So good to see you, David. And I want to also recognize a good friend, N.L. Bishop, who recently retired from Carilion. N.L., it's good to see you. We have N.L. on a lot of boards and committees in Roanoke, and he's been very instrumental in a lot of things we're doing. And so it's good to see you again in retirement. So we're ready to go. Thank you for joining me today, really, as I stand to deliver my final State of the City Address. And as I reflect on the progress we've made over the past year, I must say that the state of the city is good and continues to improve. The National Civic League recognized Roanoke as a Hall of Fame city in 2020. And just this year, we can also say that Roanoke is an 8-time All-American city. And let me just say that there's only one city that has won 9. We've got 8. There's only one city that has 9, and that's San Antonio. And I've been around a little bit now. The way they got there is a little, I won't question that now. But I think we're going to work on that, and I think Verinda will be leading this country in those All-American City recognition. This year, Roanoke has earned the designation of a certified welcoming city by welcoming America for our programs, resources, and policies that foster immigrant inclusion, becoming the first in the Commonwealth to earn such a designation. And we're very proud of that in this time, to be that welcoming city. And I've heard that even last week when I was up in Chicago. I met a lot of people who had been to Roanoke, and they talk about the city and the welcoming and the friendly attitude that they see here. So let's keep that up, and thank you all who helped make that possible. The Center for Digital Government has recognized Roanoke as a top digital city every year since 2001. And let me also talk about again, and I'll be mentioning them because they do so much in our city. Roanoke City Public Schools opened a day tech center, providing city students with the opportunity to graduate with not only a diploma, but also a resume of skills and experiences through technical education. And we learned a long time ago that everybody may not want to be that doctor or lawyer, but they have a lot of skills. And this program helps build their resume, and we're so excited about what's going on there. Roanoke was awarded the Pacesetter Award from the Campaign for Grade Level Reading for the 8th time. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because it's important that our young people know how to read. That's so important, and it's basic. For the second consecutive year, Roanoke was named a top employer for interns by the Virginia Talent and Opportunity, and Roanoke Parks and Recreation was named an honorable mention on Outside's magazine annual Best Place to Work list. Congratulations, Roanoke Parks and Recreation, you employees that represent that. Our local government really is a leader in best practices with departments such as Parks and Recreation, Police, Fire, Sheriff Department, and the 911 Center meeting national accreditation standards. And these achievements are recognitions that are indeed significant. However, they only tell a small piece of Roanoke's story of progress and success. Roanoke is a resilient and thriving city that offers an unparalleled quality of life, a place where you can truly live, learn, work, play, and prosper. A safe community is the cornerstone of the quality of life. And we are fortunate to have leaders dedicated to maintaining that standard. And is Chief Booth here? Chief, will you stand up a minute? I want you to stand up a minute. Last year, we welcomed Chief Scott Booth to the Roanoke Police Department. And under his leadership, the Roanoke Police Department has placed great emphasis on community policing efforts. This past year, they've held or attended nearly 300 community and crime prevention events, fostering stronger relationships between officers and residents. This past week, at the Virginia Association of Chiefs of Police, Chief Booth was sworn in as the Virginia Association of Chiefs of Police President. Thank you. Congratulations, Chief. And let me just mention some other leaders in the security area. Chief Hoback, Fire Chief Hoback, stand up. We thank you for your work and the commitment, and sometimes we seem to take that for granted, but there are a lot of fires, a lot of things that are happening here, and our fire and EMS team has made strategic enhancements to services offered, including the addition of a staff ambulance at Station 14, ensuring quicker response times for those in need. And if you ever get in need, that's important in terms of response time. So thank you, Chief, for your work. Is Sheriff Antonio Hash, is he present today? All right, well, let me just say that Sheriff Hash has received recent national recognition for his unwavering dedication and commitment to our community. And he's a sheriff that every week, basically, he and the Sheriff's Department are involved in community projects and doing certain things in our community. So I just want to recognize Chief Sheriff Antonio Hash for his commitment and dedication. And together with our talented, and I do mean talented, E911 telecommunications, Roanoke dedicated first responders keep us safe every day, and we're truly grateful for their service. And I just want to recognize, and she doesn't get a lot of recognition, but Ms. Sonia Romans, are you here today? Well, they must not have gotten the memo, but we want to thank them for their work and the things that we do, and that's a very big part of what we're about, and so I appreciate all the work that you do and their staffs. It's great work, and you feel safe when those things are going on and the work that they do. The Department of Social Services finalized 35 adoptions this year, creating forever homes for children in our community. Family is the heart of Roanoke, and we're thrilled to help build and support families. Our homeless assistance team hosted 241 individuals directly from unsheltered homelessness, which is a 9% increase over last year. Additionally, 106 of these individuals moved into housing with long-term housing vouchers and supportive services, better equipping them to remain housed. And this is a testament to our commitment to providing support and stability to our most vulnerable residents. And let me say, last week, I had a chance to meet with other mayors from across the country, and we had workshops, and we all have the same kinds of issues. We're all dealing with homelessness and how we approach it, but I'm proud of the efforts that we're making here. Some people say you're gonna solve it, and we're working on that. It's evolving, but we've got so many people who are making a genuine effort to do what they can, and so I'm proud of where we are in Roanoke in dealing with homelessness. It's an issue, and there are a lot of factors that are involved in that. Sometimes basically mental health, drug addiction, and those kinds of things, but we're there fighting, and there's a really a committed group of people who are doing the right things. This year, Roanoke has also celebrated the grand opening of the Sheila Strauss Hospice House. This is the first freestanding hospice house in the region, which will improve quality of life for those receiving end-of-life care and their families. And that's why I'm pleased with that, because we're a compassionate city, and we want to take care of people even through the end of life. So I'm pleased to make that announcement, and that you know that that's what we're doing, and I think that's a great thing for our city. For the second consecutive year, we've committed to record-breaking funding of Roanoke City Public Schools, exceeding $100 million annually. This ongoing investment underscores our deep commitment to education, not only through financial support, but also backing the renovation and modernization of our school facilities. And earlier this year, we proudly celebrated the opening of the Charles W. Day Technical School, our city's second career and technical education center. And I'm so proud of that, and I know Mr. Day's family is. I had a chance to serve with Mr. Day while I was on the school board, and he was a longtime educator in our city, and many of you probably know Charles, and that's a great thing, and I was proud the fact that our school chose to name this tech center after Charles Day. And so with that, we're making a significant investment in our children's future, and this tech center will undoubtedly benefit our community for generations to come. And for the past several years, Roanoke has experienced significant economic growth led by the high growth sectors of healthcare, biomedical research, and higher education. These have been accompanied by growth in tourism, hospitality, and advanced manufacturing. Roanoke is still in the early stages of long-term multi-year investments like the former Viscose plant development that's taking place, which is called the Riverdale Project, and the biotech labs that will provide a landing spot for researchers when they are ready to commercialize their research. The biotech lab design process is complete, and construction work has started with an anticipated completion date of June 2025. Roanoke continues to foster innovation through support of RAMP, our regional accelerator, working with our life science and technology companies and attracting new companies and talent to the city. Earlier this year, we were able to announce the successful negotiation for the placement of an Amazon last mile distribution facility at the Roanoke Central for Industrial and Technology, representing a $30 million investment and anticipated creation of up to 200 jobs. That's a lot of packages and a lot of opportunity. Yeah. That will serve us well. And that's a lot of packages and a lot of opportunities, really, for our community. Something which you don't hear a lot about is our Financial Empowerment Center, celebrated its 4th anniversary, helping residents reduce over $760,000 in non-mortgage debt. This year alone, since its inception, the Financial Empowerment Center has helped reduce more than $2.6 million in non-mortgage debt. That's a lot of financial stress lifted off of our residents' shoulders. So that's something that we're real pleased with, and I hope it continues and people continue to take advantage of that. Public infrastructure is truly the backbone of our community. We recognize that infrastructure in Roanoke is critical for enhancing efficiency and fostering our economic growth. And we have to talk about infrastructure, and we talk about and we deal with our budget and those things. Infrastructure is not the bells and whistles that people look for, but it's so important to us. And I really am impressed with the direction we're headed, and with the economic growth and improving the quality of life for our residents. That's why we are consistently working to maintain and improve our infrastructure and enhance our roadways to accommodate all users. Last year, our engineering division completed the Bridge the Gap section of the Roanoke River Greenway, making the Greenway continuous from the Salem-Roanoke border to the Bennington Street trailhead in southeast Roanoke. Now, you can walk, bike, or jog without interruption. Now, I know some of you bikers, man, y'all ought to give us a hand for that, because our people are walking, biking. We got a lot of bikers going on, and my colleague on City Council, Trish White Board, bikes everywhere, and she's wanting me to get involved in bicycle. And I'll tell her that time has passed for me. So you can do all of this with no interruption, unless, of course, you're interrupted by the stunning views that you see when you do those things. That's something. Now, speaking of bridges and infrastructure, we're already halfway finished with the demolition on the Wasena Bridge Replacement Project, and construction activities have begun on the Wasena end of the project. This is the largest public works project we've undertaken in the last 30 years, replacing the longest bridge in our city's inventory. At 815 feet, this bridge is no small feat, and neither is the patience of our residents to navigate the detours that they have to make. But if they just hold on, and some of y'all are aware of what the Franklin Road Bridge, what we've done, so hold on. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. So thank you for your understanding and continued support as we work to improve our infrastructure for you. Our stormwater utility celebrated its 10-year anniversary with significant achievements, including the Glades Creek and West Fort Carvins Creek stream restoration projects. These projects help reduce flood risks, stabilize stream banks, protect our water quality, and improve habitats for wildlife. Not to mention that over the course of the last 10 years, Stormwater Division has removed 30 million pounds of debris and sediment from our streets. In other illuminating areas, we partnered with Appalachian Power to convert nearly 10,000 street lights across the city to energy-efficient LED fixtures over the next few years. And since April of this year, more than 1,100 street lights have already been converted, which increases community safety and helping us move toward our goal of a more sustainable community. Speaking of sustainability, Roanoke's Transportation Department has piloted a new asphalt recycling technique known as hot in place. This innovative process reduces greenhouse gas emissions by 30% and increases pavement longevity. Roanoke is the first locality in Virginia, west of Henrico County, to implement this technique. While executing the annual street repaving contract, which resulted in the paving of 69 lane miles, 17.5 miles were done using the hot-in-place technique. And our streets are looking better and lasting longer, which is a win-win for everyone. Our Fleet Services Division has received national recognition as one of the best 100 fleets in America by the National Association of Fleet Administration. This year, we retired 9 snow fighting units that were over 10 years old, opting for rental trucks instead, which makes a difference. And this innovative decision saved the city over $1 million and set a standard for future snow fighting seasons. We've also embraced innovative approaches in other areas, like community building, through the Arts Connect Neighborhoods program, providing over 40 free neighborhood art activities this past year. Since the year of the artist, Roanoke has seen the emergence of murals across our beautiful city. From John Murrell's Southeast Greenway Gateway murals to the restoration of Dorothy Gillespie's accentuated forms in space downtown. And also to Brazilian artist Tiago Valde, traveling to Roanoke to create a mural downtown, to the collaboration of local artists J.C. Stallings and Bryce Cobb's newest work at the Gainesboro YMCA. These beautiful works of art also pay homage to Roanoke's history and culture. Additionally, over 400 Roanokers participated in this year's Daisy Art Parade, and again building community by participating in Cruise of Creation. And who would forget the unveiling of the Henrietta Lacks statue? And let me recognize my colleague on council, Trish White-Board, who worked that day and night to make that happen. And she's probably called on some of y'all for some contributions there. So I want to thank her for her efforts in doing that, and we're very proud of that. And we did that prior to the state of Virginia recognizing Henrietta Lacks Day, and that's going to be each October. So thank you all for your commitment to that, and we're very proud of that. You know, art has a way of bringing people together, and we're proud to support creativity and connection in our community. Throughout my life, I've also seen firsthand really how the power of sports can shape lives and build community. In 2015, we launched the Lee Youth Outdoor Basketball League, a program designed to offer our young people a positive summertime activity. But it was more than just basketball. It was a time that our young people can get together with our police officers. Our police officers were a very important part of that. They would be referees, coaches, and we had young people meeting, working with police officers, calling them coach, calling them by their first name. That's a very positive thing in our community. It developed those relationships. So because there's some young people that only would see police officers when they're coming to make an arrest or observing that, but this had them interacting. I want to thank our police force because we've had as much during those summers, as much as 15 officers out there refereeing, coaching, and the kids. I really enjoyed the kids for calling them by their first name. They got to know them that well, and it was a good venture, and we were very proud of that. And so we used basketball as a tool to get young people to come out. And we're proud of that and what it's done. And it was about life lessons learned. And so we shared, during that course, we shared stories of overcoming adversity before each game. And we had professional athletes who were from the Roanoke area to come out and talk to the young people and tell them compelling stories about how they grew up in the same environments, but they made a way and they were supported and they encouraged them to say, you can also do that. Nothing is impossible for that. So I'm just saying that was something that we're still proud of in our city. And it's because we had that before each game, we would talk about have people come out, not only athletes, but we had principals, we had teachers, we had councilmen to come out to talk to our students and young people about their life stories and how they made things happen and they were helped and mentored and that they can make it. They can be who they want to be now. That's so important, and we really enjoyed that during the summer. We got out, and I get out and play a little basketball, but those days are past now. So, but I enjoyed that, and I want to thank our police department and those who are part of that, and get out and the police officers will play. And so that spirit still lives on because in today's program, in today's initiative, we have Horton Hoops, which is part of that, which was a program that we established over in the Horton Park where kids can come out and play basketball. And talking about sports, additionally, through an annual fundraiser for TAP, and Annette Lewis is not here this morning, is she? But I'm going to say we raised funds for TAP to help our students. And we did that by creating a Western Virginia Education Classic back in 2000. Every year, we would play a college football game with the funds going to TAP's program to bring kids back to school, kids who have dropped out or just said, I got to work, I can't go to school during the day. Well, TAP needed funds, and I want to thank the many athletic directors and coaches. Annette Lewis and I visited a number of schools. We had 11 colleges, athletic directors and coaches who gave up a home game to come to Roanoke to help us in terms of raising funds for this. And so those presidents and athletic directors, and I think that's not an easy thing to do, to walk in the president and say, hey, will you move your game to Roanoke? And you know, the question from athletic directors said, what's the fund? How much are we going to be paid to do that? And they did it. And we had 11 HBCUs. And that's very special to me, being an HBCU graduate, for them to say, okay, we're going to come and help you out. And they came, and we had from 2000 up to about 13. and we brought even 700 kids back to school. We raised over $250,000 for fans coming out to the game, and we played a lot of those games in the old Victory Stadium. Some of y'all may not be aware of Victory Stadium and where it was now. It's changed now, but we had those games, and people came together again to do more than just come to the game, but we had opportunities for people to get to know the schools. We had the schools to come and recruit some of our students, and all those things took place. And so I'm so proud of an HBCU, our HBCU, which is a historically black colleges and universities. I like to say that. Sometimes we get accent, we're saying certain things too much, but historically black colleges and universities, which you're hearing a lot being said now, even in the political arena, that people, they're making contributions to those schools. But I'm very much appreciative of that and what we've done, and that was so rewarding. And I tell our young people, you know, even though sometimes in what you see, the schools that are publicized, Virginia Tech and University of Virginia, which are great schools, but if you can't get into those schools, there are other opportunities for you to make something of your life. And so, and I'll tell them, well, you have a two-term mayor that's an HBCU graduate. I'll tell them that you have a city manager that's an HBCU graduate. I'll tell them that you have one of the best superintendents in the nation that got her doctor's degree at an HBCU school. And, well, we've got the first elected African-American governor in the country is an HBCU graduate. And in a few weeks now, and this is just my opinion, you could possibly have a president of the United States an HBCU graduate. That's just my opinion, but those are things that pop. So I'm appreciative of what those HBCU schools are doing, have been doing, and we still maintain ties because we have the championship game that's played here in Salem every year with the CIAA championship game. So that brings all of the HBCUs together. So HBCUs have been good to us, Some of you may not be aware of that, but believe me, we know and we see the difference. And so we want to encourage, and all that is to encourage our young people to pursue higher education, and that it can happen. It can happen. All right, let me just say that one of the moments, though, that I'm most proud of as mayor did not come from those achievements and progress that we've done, but the proudest moment is how we responded during one of our most challenging times, and that's COVID-19, that pandemic. It tested us. And it tested all of us in one capacity or another. But in the face of uncertainty, Roanoke came together and proved we are Star City strong. And let me say that cities from around the country wanted to know how did we work and how did we deal with monies that we were getting from the government and how we dealt with that. With the ARPA money, how we dealt with it, because we did it in a way that we brought citizens in. We didn't go behind closed doors, as some people accuse us of doing on a lot of things, but we pretty much brought in you all from every sector. We brought in doctors, lawyers, lay citizens, everybody to come in and tell us what's the best way to utilize these funds. And you may have heard this before, but we did that, and I was proud to say our city and our citizens said, let's make sure we deal with those underserved communities. And I'm proud of that and how we did that. I'm proud of how we came together. We kept you informed, and that's why I want to recognize Dr. Bishop here, because William was a big part of that in terms of our reports and what we were doing. And each week we'd have 2 meetings. Vice Mayor Collins and I was sitting and we'd talk about, he'd have a script and I'd have a script, and we'd take questions on what we were doing. But that's something that we came together in the face of adversity and challenge, and I will always be proud of that. And that's not something you'll see on the scoreboard or see a touchdown, but that's something that made a difference. And we recovered and went to work on that, and I'm so appreciative of all the things that we did to make that happen. And we recognize that our community deserves more than just a return to normal. We were resilient. And Roanoke sees this unprecedented opportunity to not only recover, but to address the inequities that held some of our residents, families, and businesses back, to bring them back, bring businesses back. And and I'm proud of what council did and their commitment to making sure. And it was some tough decisions there, but we made the right decisions, and so we stood the course and we landed on our feet with COVID. A lot of cities did not. A lot of cities had issues and still having issues, and we still have certain things where COVID set us back a while, but we're coming back, and I'm so proud of that. Through initiatives like LEAPS, West End Hub, and mobile market expansion, Roanoke increased access to fresh food. The foundation for better health outcomes in Northwest Roanoke has been laid with the development of Melrose Plaza. And let me say, that's going to be transformative for this community. That's going to be transformative, and we'll be at least cutting a ribbon on one aspect of that at some point in probably November. But I hope that they do it before I leave town or leave the office. So, but we're very proud of that because they're going to introduce a grocery store in a food desert, a wellness center, an adult education center. And I was pleased to learn that they've got a program to where they're going to be working with our school system on kids that has some problems, and they're going to have a education center there that will help, especially the adult education. And we need to improve our numbers in adult education in our city. And and I've always said that being in the criminal justice system, the lack of education, it has a direct correlation with criminal activity. And so we want to make sure we move in that area. And so that Melrose Plaza is going to be done with a lot of help, a lot of things. And where's Donna Davis? Davis, stand up. You're going to be running a lot of that over there. Let everybody see who you are. All right, and so it's going to be a great thing for our city, and you'll see more about it. And Habitat for Humanity's Partners in Prosperity program not only has affordable housing stock increased in the current target areas, but also workforce development opportunities in construction having been created. These efforts are about more than recovery. They're about ensuring that everyone in our community has a chance to strive. Everybody in our community, and we're working together. And as my final State of the City's address comes to a close, I want to express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you, your dedication, passion, and resilience to make Roanoke the incredible city it is today. And there's some great people in this city, and a lot of people behind the scenes that do great things. My friend and former police chief and Chris Perkins, I see there, and I've talked to Chris about certain things, and Chris ended up telling me certain things I should do as a councilman. And because he's got a lot of experience there, but he does a lot of things for this city and has done it behind the scenes. He's not going to be the guy you see walking around and the cameras and all those things. But Chris, I just see that. I want to thank you for the stuff you've done over the years and with me. and with me. And you were the chief when we started this basketball program. You come out and talk to the kids. So thank you for your commitment to this valley and what you've done. I just want to do that. So before I drop the mic, I want to express my grateful gratitude to every one of you in here and for your dedication, passion, and resilience to make Roanoke the incredible city it is. And today, together, we faced challenges, celebrated victories, and built a community that we can be proud of. Everything is not right. There's still issues. I'm not standing up here saying we're perfect. We're going to work through things, but I like the approach that we have. I like the leadership that we got in place. I like this council that we're working with. We can agree to disagree, but we keep moving forward. I just look around, and I just like the initiative that we have. Again, I'm going to call Trish Whiteboard. She had the Women's March on voting and recognize that. So we got members of our community, Vice Mayor Cobbs, and everybody are doing the initiatives. I'm proud to be a part of that, proud to have participated during my tenure on council. So thank you for allowing me to serve as your mayor, and it's been the honor of a lifetime. I know you sometimes see me grumping and gawning, and sometimes, but you ought to see some of the emails and calls I get. But I'm trying to keep a straight face on some of it. But let's continue to work together, support one another, and keep Roanoke moving forward, because the best is yet to come. Thank you, and God bless you.
Mayor Lee, thank you. Incredible achievements, incredible remarks, and just a lot of progress moving forward, and really appreciate all your decades of service and commitment and passion towards the city and our region. So can we give Mayor Lee one more round of applause, please? I hope we're all proud of the region that we live in. You know, we live in a special region. I'm going off script. But we live in a special region, and I hope we're all proud of the progress that we're making and the commitment that the business community needs to have towards engagement with our leaders and engagement with each other towards moving this region forward. Again, regionalism. So appreciate everybody's commitment to that. That would be my call to action for everyone, is continue to keep regionalism top of mind. One additional item to note, today's State of the City address will be replayed on RVTV this evening, 7 p.m. You can watch it again this Saturday, the 31st at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m., and on Monday, Labor Day, September 2nd at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. You can also find a recording of the event on the City of Roanoke's Facebook page or on rvtv.org/Roanoke. Again, thank you to our sponsors that help make today's events possible. Our annual Public Policy Program of Work sponsors, Mountain Valley Pipeline, RGC Resources, Roanoke Gas, Lionberger Construction, Appalachian Power is our presenting sponsor. Our platinum sponsors, Branch Group, Virginia 811, and Glow Fiber. And our gold sponsors, City of Roanoke Redevelopment and Housing Authority, First Citizens Bank, Gentry Lock, Marsh & McLennan Agency, and Pone Cronk Real Estate Group. A final thank you to our chamber team. As most of you know, we are a very small team. I say lean and mean. We're not mean, but we are lean, and we have a lot coming up, and we do a lot on a daily basis. So I really want to give a congratulations and a round of applause for Kayla, Kelly, Noah, Ginger, and Bitsy on our team. That's the 6 of us. That's it. So thank you to our chamber team. A lot of behind-the-scenes logistics efforts to go into these events, and appreciate your all's flexibility today with having our largest crowd ever, and we hope to continue to keep that for years to come. We have a busy fall coming up as we continue to enhance on our mission to promote, stimulate, and improve business. We don't endorse candidates, but we will endorse ideas, and we are here to support our region and our regional business community. Thank you all for attending. Have a great day. Have a great rest of the week. Take care.